Adam, but he says...
I can give you some pointers on how to do that, but go ahead.
That would be great. Feedbacktime.org. Hello from California. I'm very bummed this trip prevented me from being with you today. Thanks very much to Rich for having the great idea to pull us together and for opening his and Catherine's home to us. It's so important to take time to mark big occasions. And this is a big occasion. You've already achieved so much since the school first opened its doors to the class of 2019. And the school has come so far since some young professionals started getting emails out of the blue from Jess Rooney in 2010 about helping her start a school. But as you know, this was our first year doing what we set out to do when we filed our first charter application with the state to challenge, guide, and empower our students and families to beat the odds and make the leap to college education. I know there have been ups and downs and countless challenges over the last 4 years. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, thank you for enduring them, thank you for rising to the challenge, and congratulations on your success. I want to convey special appreciation to 3 individuals today. I hope you'll all grab a drink for some quick toasts. I can wait for you to do that. You don't have to do that already. Not that I'm off script. Watch out. Monica, there's one image I associate so strongly with you. I was visiting the school in the fall of 2011 during one of our first months. Our 9th graders were just filling the hallways after a class period, and I was standing on one end of our long hallways. As the students were coming out of the classrooms, they were starting to talk to one another, but within a few seconds of being in the hall, silence spread between them and their conversations shut down. I couldn't initially see why, but as I walked from one end of the hallway to the other, I finally could. A diminutive figure, her back to the wall, holding her fist in the air and projecting and pulsating a feeling of absolute authority through fiery eyes. This is only one tiny example of how you brought so much passion to your work over the last 4 years, Monica. Our kids couldn't have gotten there without you, and it's been wonderful working with you. I'll miss you. Buena suerte, and thank you. Lori, I'm not sure I've really processed that you'll be leaving. I'm trying to picture a visit to the school without goofing around in your office, or a board meeting without sharing a smile or passing silly notes with you. And I just can't quite do it yet. And I also can't quite picture how we're going to continue to make this school and this board function without your skill and your dedication. Lori, you are humble, self-effacing, dedicated, and phenomenally skilled. I think sometimes you are the only one who doesn't realize the magnitude of your achievements. That you've overseen the building of a complex, fully functioning, $7 million organization from scratch. That you've guided the school to clean audits, helped the board function, and absolutely wowed the state charter school office. But I hope you do realize how much you've meant to us and to our students, and how grateful we are. Lori, thank you for everything. We will miss you. Cheers. Jess, we are obviously, thankfully, not saying anything close to farewell to you today. And by the way, if we were, every man and woman in this room would be melting down in a screaming state of utter panic. But I can't let this opportunity pass without speaking, through poor Nathan here, to you. Jess, 5+ years ago, you decided to do the hardest thing, a standalone college prep charter high school in just about the hardest place to do it. The big charter networks basically stay away from starting standalone high schools, not because they don't have the resources, because God knows they do, but because, essentially, they think it's just too hard. You may remember that when you first told me of your plans to do a high school, I was so concerned you thought I wasn't going to say yes to being on the board. But instead of intimidating and defeating us, the degree of difficulty of our project and the vision and direction you've brought to it have served to focus us and to ground us, and ultimately to make our successes to date all the more satisfying. In his famous speech when he challenged the country to pull off the moon landing, President Kennedy said, we choose to go to the moon in this decade and to do other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. because that challenge is one that we are willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one which we intend to win. Jess, you brought us together to take on and overcome the challenge of our lives. You did it with compassion and patience and sterling leadership ability. Working with you has made me a better person and a better professional. Thank you for challenging us and inviting us to be a part of fulfilling your vision. And congratulations on all the successes you've brought about for our families. You have a lot to be proud of, and we're lucky to have you. Congratulations and salute. Cheers.
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 I'm gonna give her a card.